Now, from across the tri-states, this is KHQA Sports.
Entering year number 19 of feeding the football culture around here, I say unto you once again, tip top of the evening, everybody, and welcome to Sports Final. Now, we've spent an entire summer writing magazines about the game, making projections, what have you, but enough with it. The time for talk is now at an end, and the true reckoning between the hash marks is at hand. Your biggest week one storyline, instant barometers on so many of the teams that emerged as preseason media darlings. With the exception of Jacksonville, none of the other teams at the pointy end of the football food chain this week drew what you would consider cakewalk games. Topping the opening week degree of difficulty, how about the Hannibal Pirates? Playing at home, mind you, against their arch rivals, Quincy Notre Dame. This, over the course of the last 4 years, has become an awful lot of fun. Tonight would be no different. A largely defensive-tinged battle early in this one. Mitch Nichols doing his part right here, snuffing out the Quincy Notre Dame pitch play and ending up with a tackle for loss. Brady Genenbacher would answer. Big hit right here on the quarterback, Elijah Harrison. Harrison hit his head tonight, would not return to the game later in the contest, and that would prove to be a problem for the Hannibal offense as they operated poorly without him. Here come the Raiders in the second quarter driving. Dalen Anders, the speedy water bug, with a nice pickup right here. That first down eventually leads to this. 3rd and goal, Joe McKay to the air, hooking up with a beautiful connection right there with Barry Welper. Made it 7-0 Q&D, and Q&D would never look back in this ball game today. Taking advantage, more fun right here from Jordan Chappell. Over the shoulder catch, the great punt return, which would lead to a field goal as well. At that point, 10-0 Q&D. Q&D ends up pulling off the victory tonight, avenging last year's loss and taking out the number 9 team in Missouri Class 4 football tonight. 17-9 was your final there. One big winner, though, to announce from America's hometown. The first of 11 qualifiers for the new Honda dirt bike we're giving away as part of our Game of the Week contest. Jason Pritchett, come on down. Congratulations. You were the first of 11 big winners. And congratulations and thanks as well to all our sponsors for making this contest possible once again. Big news tonight from the Quad Cities. Quincy High School takes care of business in game number 1. Malik Robbins scored touchdowns in about every fashion possible. Long kickoff return, rushing which is what he does, and a pass-catching touchdown as well tonight from George Kirkard as the Blue Devils leave no doubt about it, beating East Moline to improve to 1-0 on the season, 34-13. And speaking of leaving no doubt, Jacksonville coming off that ugly, horrific, torturous loss last year to Sacred Heart Griffin in the playoffs by 1 single point. Jacksonville, boy, they've got some business to attend, and they did so at the expense of the poor Lincoln Railers tonight. 56-6 was your final on that one. Blake Hance had a touchdown receiving. The Crimsons, who have had heavy hearts all week with the loss of a former player, certainly make a statement tonight. And again, our hearts and prayers go out to everybody in Crimson Country. Illini West tonight debuting the Lyle Klein era and looking very good in doing so. Although Pittsfield, Griggsville, Perry, Wade Smith and company in the early going would give the Chargers all they could handle in this one. Starts off with Austin Allen finding a seam in that Charger defense, picking up big yards. That sets up the big fella, Ike Whitaker, going to plunge his way in eventually, like erosion, just falling in from 4 yards out to give his team a 6-0 lead. The 2-point conversion would fail. Illini West tried to counter and to answer with their speedy quarterback. Remember this name, Braden Bennett. He's going to be a good one. Pick up of 44 yards on this sachet right here, and that sets up an attempt on 4th down and goal to score, but Wade Smith playing center field and doing it well, picks it off and gives the Saukeys a little more momentum until they cough it right back up. Braxton Squire moving from nose guard to linebacker, shows some quickness there, and that would set up this guy, the all-conference pick last year, Braden Carroll, who plunges in to make it 6-all, 2-point conversion. That would be handled by Braden Bennett, who does so nicely, getting to the edge, taking that home for the score. The Charger defense steps up big after that ugly first drive, and it starts with this guy, Braxton Boyer, with the quarterback sack setting the tone, and the Saukeys are forced to punt, and that would be bad news right here as Braden Carroll's about to get his flow going, and he's about to go deep as he flows, and Jacques Cousteau's his way 49 yards into the end zone, virtually untouched. It's the old Tim Lafferty setup right here on the punt return, and that was pretty sensational 7-worthy stuff right there. Sets up Mr. Austin Kerfman for the 2-point conversion. All Chargers after that opening quarter. They end up winning and making it a happy debut in Charger country tonight. 38-12 was your final. Wish the news was better elsewhere in the West Central Conference. It was not for Macomb, who struggled to get the scoring going tonight. Two 90-yard rushers, Reed Sprinkle among them. He scored his team's only touchdown. Unfortunately, the Bombers could not keep up with Limestone tonight. They end up losing by the final count of 14-9. Thriller tonight, big one tonight in the WIVC. Greenfield, maybe the pride of the South, maybe the best team in the South, taking on a very good Brown County team. Was scoreless at the half. Braxton Phelps gets his mitts into this one, gets a great block right out in front of everything, and he is going to run for big yardage on the punt return. That sets up the newcomer, the transfer right here, and he's a good one. Wyatt Jones picking up big yardage to set up Braxton Phelps for his team's only touchdown of the night. It is a 4-yard charge, but it is good enough to get the thing done. The touchdown, the 2-point conversion, puts the Hornets up 8-0. Their defense gives up a late touchdown, but not a 2-point conversion, and Brown County recovers the onside kick late. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't artistic, but you know what? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder as the Hornets pick up victory number 1 and an important crossover game. 8-6 was your final there, maybe the second most important win of the night in the WIVC. More on that in just a second. Meanwhile, we've got more for you tonight. We've got the debut of Coach K at Unity. Unity Payson off to a good start, taking the lead early on West Central right here as Alex Blickhand goes in. Then he would punt home the extra point, or I should say kick home the extra point as well. That kid's a talented kicker. Momentum would be short-lived. One play later, first play from scrimmage, that is the speedster, Austin Bays. And my goodness, we didn't call him a speedster for nothing. 80 yards of goodness to the edge to put his team up at that point after the 2-point conversion, 8-7. The defense picks it up. Tyler Strohaker coming up right here with the defense. He also plays some quarterback at the quarterback sack, and he can do the little keeper right here. It's good for 11 yards and another touchdown to extend his team's lead. West Central 300 yards of rushing on the ground tonight. And he also got a little 2-point conversion help on the back end of it by Drew Barnett. Those didn't count in the stats. Barnett, though, a 2-point conversion machine. More from Austin Bays. This kid maybe didn't get enough credit preseason as one of the best running backs in the area. He goes in strong right there for his second touchdown in the first half. And the 2-point conversion extends the lead to 24-7. West Central meant business tonight. They took care of Unity and did it without much regard. 46-13 your final to spoil the Coach K debut tonight. But I tell you what, Unity showed some things at least early when they weren't shooting themselves in the foot, so don't write off the Mustangs just yet. You know Camp Point Central's good. Number 3 team in the state coming in, or excuse me, number 4 team in the state coming into the season. They show you exactly why here, beating up on North Green. A star is born. El Harris Saldana with 3 touchdowns tonight, 2 of them on the ground, 126 yards rushing. Central, no problems dispatching with the Spartans despite playing in hostile climes. More for you, the upset of the night, maybe the biggest upset in the state. Pleasant Hill, Mike Giles' team with a defensive stand in the red zone late to stop Triopia from a comeback. Pleasant Hill on the road in Trojan country. Are you kidding me? Mike Giles' team very big up front, and they appear to be for real as they get the huge upset tonight, beating Triopia 12-8. Congratulations, Wolves fans. You've got yourself a pretty good team brewing, clearly, from that result. We take you now to the Prairie Land. Rushville Industry playing host to North Fulton. Brady Crane, have a night. This is one of the prettiest plays you will see all years. 40 yards of goodness, 40 of his 144 on the night, as he does the Marcus Allen thing. Basically goes one way, ducks out of tackles, goes the other way. That kid's a player. 7-6 Rushville Industry at that point. More from the Rushville Industry offense behind that nice offensive line. Eli Irwin picking up the first down on 4th and 1. That gives you more. Brady Crane had 144 yards rushing tonight, 3 touchdowns. Brady, get it done. The Carmatic Crane kick to North Fulton's hopes tonight, as it was Rushville Industry picking up a win, 26-14. I tell you what, the Rockets could open up at 2-0. No telling how good these guys could be down the stretch. More for you tonight. Big passing night from Gus Vermillion as Beardstown beats Lewiston late, 28-21. We told you that kid could play some quarterback. He does it in the clutch tonight. Beardstown with a big road win over the Indians, 28-21. Also tonight, Bushnell Prairie City Avons woes continue the long losing streak at hand tonight. And Knoxville extends it 48-0 your final there. West Prairie tonight struggles against United 47-20. Do want to point out that Ethan Peterson, young man we featured for you last week on Overtime as one of the most underrated players in our area, caught his 8th touchdown pass as a Cyclone. That ties the school record, 24-yarder to cap the scoring for his team tonight. Over to Missouri, late starts tonight, so the highlights will be shorter than we had hoped. 8 o'clock starts in Macon will do that to us. It will make a sports director tear out what's left of his hair, even if he doesn't have one. How about some Joe Lewis right here from Macon early on the nifty reverse? I tell you what, the kid's got a little Mary Lou Retton to him, or some gymnastics. I'm dating myself there with the somersaults at the end. Palmyra, though, that defense holding strong. A 3 and out, actually a 4 and out in the red zone. Macon turns the ball over on downs. Macon's Chris Little. Oh, right here with a big interception, though, to stop Palmyra's momentum. And Palmyra holds at that point, but Macon's Brenton Enyard hits the 22-yard field goal here to open the scoring. It was 3-0 at that point. More Joe Lewis in this one as Macon would build an early 9-0 lead, and then Palmyra's running game goes nuts tonight. Over 401 yards rushing. My man Caleb Kaiser leading the way in that one tonight. Palmyra has all sorts of weapons. This was a big win. Kind of thought this might be a trap game with Centralia looming. Potential game of the week next week in Palmyra. Centralia, Palmyra will do it next week, but Palmyra will come in with a win. 36-25 was your final. Elsewhere in the Clarence Cannon Conference, Monroe City, David Kirby's debut had some nice moments, but Clark County shows they are really, really strong. Jacob Trump with a long 48-yard touchdown in this one tonight as Clark County gets the victory 41-25. Also, did I mention Centralia? Yes, Centralia Palmyra next week is big. Centralia having no problem dispatching with Highland. Young Master Armentrout taking over at quarterback tonight and looking really good in doing so. 55-0 was your final there. South Shelby tonight, we'll get to them in a second. Brookfield, a winner tonight over Mark Twain. 35-0 was your final there. Now on to South Shelby. Hot night in Shelbina. South Shelby, an award tonight with Louisiana. It was a pounding game in this one. Louisiana's Bryson Kropp right here with a nice run right here. Couldn't score, though. South Shelby's defense would stop the drive on 4th and goal, forcing the turnover on downs right here. South Shelby's defense equal to the task and cleaning up in the red zone, tightening the screw. South Shelby trying to make some things happen. Kenny Smithy, the Monroe City transfer, puts a run to put South Shelby deep into Bulldog territory, and then South Shelby's outstanding speedy quarterback, Brett Threckeld, will go right here for the game's first touchdown on a keeper. South Shelby with the lead, but the lead would bounce back and forth. Louisiana has a pretty good fullback in Austin Rule. He'll show you why right here with the rule of law. Big fella just pounding his way down the field. South Shelby's defense swarming at the other end. But you know what? Louisiana would find a way to rebound and tie this game. Elijah Oblinger to tie it right here in the second quarter. This thing goes down to the final second tonight where Derek Laurie, sophomore kicker, pounds one home for South Shelby. South Shelby escapes with the most thrilling win of the night. 23-20 your final on a field goal with 0.1 seconds left in the ballgame. Doesn't get much more fun than that. Elsewhere on the Missouri docket tonight, Bowling Green with a nice win tonight. 44-38 is your final on that one. Big rushing night from Malik McPike as the brothers Geschwender get one on the road over Orchard Farm. Christian of O'Fallon, way too much for Van Far, winning 49-0 in that ball game. Other scores to pass along. News not very good from Southeast Iowa. Keokuk manages only a field goal at Ottumwa, losing 33-3. Also, Sigourney Kyoto, way too much tonight for Central Lee, winning that game 34-7. The best news of the night, though, Fort Madison and Iowa getting a win at home over West Burlington Notre Dame. 29-26 was your final there. So congratulations to Todd McGackey and crew on getting off the schneid to start the season. Palmyra taking on Bowling Green today at the Troy leadoff tournament. I'll tell you what, Bowling Green's Madison Ingram good on the hill, getting out of a jam in the first with the 1-4 double play. Shelby Cunningham, though, Palmyra's quote-unquote second pitcher, looked like an ace today. She had a 5-hit shutout today, striking out Bobcat batters left and the right. Didn't get much run support, but in the top of the fourth, here we go. Bowling Green signee, or at least pledge, taking on Bowling Green. Irony, Katie Hinkle with a single right there. She's going to the college, not the high school, obviously. And then Bowen Jetty right here doing the deed with the bases loaded. 2-run single. It's the only scoring of the ball game, the only that Palmyra would need. Shelby Cunningham makes it stand up. Palmyra wins twice at Troy to advance to the championship round at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Highland did not have such a good go of it, losing to Zumwalt North 15-2 was your final. Avery Johnson, the lone bright spot in that one. Other softball scores, Devin Johnson out of Marion County, an over-the-fence home run tonight for her to start her senior year as Marion County buries Community R6 22-6. And congratulations to Brittany Bearhorse, leading Canton to a 2-0 start, beating Clopton in extra innings, walk-off 2-run single. Doesn't get any more dramatic than that as Canton improves to 2-0 in the season. Q&D opening their soccer tournament. Scoreless first half against Galesburg. These highlights not spectacular, but good enough to get it done. Zach Valkamp right here firing in the opening moments of the second half off the rebound and punches that home. And then look at the slow motion Aubrey Reese header right here as he gets that to fall. Quincy Notre Dame gets 2 goals in 2 minutes. 3 goals in the second half and beats Galesburg 3-0 was your final. The news not quite as good, however, for Quincy High School. They take on Ladue, fall behind 2-0 early, and end up losing by the final count of 3-2 to fall to 1-1 on the season. Also, if you missed it tonight, St. Louis Cardinals losers to the Pirates to start that big series. 5-0 is your final there. Hey, coming up tomorrow, loaded overtime, lots of softball, soccer, and all sorts of other goodies coming your way as we gun it in to the real meat of the fall season. Thanks for joining us tonight on this Sports Final webcast. Coming up next week, biggies galore, including, I'll tell you, I'll let the secret out of the bag, Centralia and Palmyra's game of the week right here. So looking forward to next week. Thanks for joining us. Football is here, everybody. Rejoice. It's a fun time of the year. We'll see you on Overtime coming up tomorrow.